Ex-SNP activist who wanted to beat the bleep out of TERFs jailed for sickening sex attacks. Interesting. Interesting. Happens a little bit in the SNP. Twisted Cameron Downing blew kisses to family members sitting in the public benches as he was jailed for 6 years. What do you notice? What do you notice? A former SNP activist who once tweeted out how he wanted to beat the F out of feminists, we're still in the first minute of the video, so I can't say the no words, had been jailed for 6 years for a series of sexual assaults. Cameron Downing, 24, preyed on 6 victims at locations across Scotland during a course of conduct which began when he was just 16 years old. The High Court in Edinburgh heard how the abuse continued until February 2023. Police learned about his activities and launched a probe. But the court heard that during the probe, officers discovered how Downing repeatedly blackmailed one of the men he preyed on. He told his victim that if he didn't engage in sexual activity with him, he'd make an allegation to the police about how he'd been raped by the man. What a disgusting thing to do. The witness told the court that Downing said he'd also contact his friends, family, and employer and make the false rape allegation to them. The man, who is now aged 22, gave evidence and said he felt trapped by Downing's threat. Downing, a former drama student and an equalities convener for the SNP's London branch, how about that, spent his trial denying any wrongdoing. Downing, who told the jury in their evidence that they identified as being non-binary, said he hadn't been threatened by the male and was battling complex mental health issues at the time of the abuse. Hadn't been threatening the male. Last month, jurors spent 2 days deliberating their verdicts before returning guilty verdicts on charges of physical and sexual assaults on Downing, whose pronouns are he, they. On Tuesday, Downing of Willowbrae, Edinburgh, returned to the dock of the High Court in the Scottish capital for sentencing. Judge Alison Stirling also ordered Downing to be supervised by the authorities for 3 years following his release from custody. He blew kisses to family members sitting in the public benches as security guards took him away from the court. Passing sentence, she made reference to an interview that Downing gave to a court-appointed social worker tasked with finding out more about his background. He told the social worker he was innocent of any wrongdoing. She said, "You have shown no compassion or insight into how your behaviour has affected the well-being of your victims. Your risk cannot be managed in the community, and custody is the only appropriate disposal with regard to the seriousness of your offending in this case. I am going to impose a sentence in 2 parts. The first part will be a custodial term of 6 years, and the second part will be supervision." It is not the first time that Downing has come to public attention. In 2022, it emerged that Downing tweeted out how he wanted to, we're past the 1 minute mark, beat the fuck out of some TERFs and transphobes. He also tweeted, "I fucking hate TERFs and transphobes with such a passion." The tweets caused Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling to say Nicola Sturgeon, Scotland, a place where an equalities officer feels free to declare in public how much he wants to beat up non-compliant women, which is essentially what he was doing. The comments made by Downing came to light after he had been elected as an equalities officer for the SNP's London branch in October 2022. He later resigned from the post. A photograph also emerged of Downing posing with former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon at an SNP conference in Aberdeen. The remarks made by Downing prompted former SNP MP Joanna Cherry, a gender-critical feminist, to accuse Downing of being misogynistic. Basically, Joanna Cherry used to be she was an MP for the SNP, but then she decided to go off the reservation and say crazy things like a woman is an adult human female. Yeah. During proceedings, jurors were played a video recording of the evidence given by the 22-year-old victim who was blackmailed by Downing. He told the court how he and Downing had consensual sex, but this stopped. The man, who can't be identified for legal reasons, told the court that Downing's reaction to this decision terrified him. The court heard that Downing threatened the man by telling him that if he didn't change his mind, he would tell the police of how the victim had raped him. Downing said they had messages from the man that proved that he had sexually assaulted him. He added, "I felt trapped. I shouldn't have let it get to that point. He said he would ruin my life." He said he would use them to put me behind bars. He was going to tell my friends and family that I was a rapist and that I had done something wrong. The jury were also shown messages that Downing sent to the victim. One message read, "I don't care if you're not ready, make yourself ready." Is that off? Bloody can't tell when these articles end. Another message read of how Downing wanted his victim to continue having sex with them. It read, "You should want that with all of your fucking being because the alternative is losing me from your life and most likely facing a court case for raping me." That's so messed up. That is extremely messed up. One woman who was targeted by Downing spoke of how Downing was a bit of a loaded gun who could get personal and nasty with people. Speaking about the abuse she suffered, the witness added, "She said he would touch me inappropriately, like groping. It was mostly my breast that he would touch, maybe some groping elsewhere. A lot of it I have filtered out." The woman, now aged 24, said she attended a New Year party in January 2018 at a friend's home when she was still a teenager, and Downing was among those present. She said Downing came up to her and told her a boy had said he thought she was hot until she discovered food. Okay. That's kind of funny. She said it devastated me because I had quite a few body issues. On Tuesday, defence advocate Michael Meehan, KC, told Judge Sterling that the sentencing guidelines for young people applied in this client's case. Mr. Meehan's remarks refer to guidelines followed by judges in Scotland. Scientific research has established that people aged under 24 don't have fully formed brains and have a greater chance of rehabilitation than older people. Judges are supposed to take this into account when considering what sentences to impose on young offenders. Mr. Meehan also told the court how his client had suffered adverse childhood experiences. He added he was the victim of homophobic and derogatory remarks whilst at school. Oh, well, I guess that means he gets to rape people then, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, totally. You blackmailed that guy and destroyed his life? Fine, fine. Someone called you a poof once in second year. So that's fine, you can totally shut up. Shut up with that stuff. I'm still scrolling. I'm still scrolling. I'm still scrolling. What the hell? There we go. What the hell was that? Big, massive white space. Judge Sterling decided that Downing's risk meant that he had to go to jail. She also told him he'd be placed on the sex offenders register for an indefinite period. And there we are, that's the end of the article. That is an absolutely... Look at this. I'm still scrolling up. This is where I usually scroll back up to it. I'm going... Scroll, 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 scroll. What the hell? Anyway, that's weird. But yeah, doing that stuff, like blackmailing people over like sexual stuff and stuff like that, that's just disgusting. I mean, raping people's obviously very, very bad as well. Probably worse. Arguably, it's worse. It's a lot worse. But yeah, this was just a disgusting, absolutely cretinous person that wanted to beat up TERFs. Everyone, I'm really, really good. I'm very, very nice. I mean, it's just, you know, it shows you people that want to go, everyone, look how progressive and nice and what a good person I am. Everybody has skeletons. Well, those types especially. Those types. See, when someone really wants to convince the public how nice and good they are, that's, you know, these days, that's a red flag.